we played everybody's first dance songs and gave them the opportunity to come up and dance.
She's not really recognized for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
It's like she's just kind of off to the side, and I find it sad.
And nobody sees her helping you into your dress either.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see these and work with them and everything.
Hi, I'm Jeff Carpenter. I am actually sitting down here with Danny, who is one of my perfect little brides in September of this year. And we're at the H Hotel in the middle of downtown Midland, Michigan. And we're going to have a little discussion as far as what went throughout her whole day, what was the planning process and all that kind of stuff. So, hi, Danny. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
I'm pretty excited about this.
I know. It's actually kind of new for me. So,
cool.
but I'm going to ask you as far as like a lot of questions as far as like how did you go ahead and start planning your wedding? So let's just dive right into that. So what you had a lot of planning going ahead. So what went into all that?
So I guess I'll start with a little bit of a background about me is I actually worked for the Knot Invitations, the wedding company. So I had everything in my brain planned out to a T because was in the wedding industry. I saw the invites. I knew all the venues in Michigan and everything. And so like when we got engaged, I knew exactly where I wanted to be and how everything was going to go. And I actually originally wanted to have our wedding and ceremony and everything at St. John's Resort and down in Plymouth. And we went down there. They were very accommodating, very professional. But my fiance was very like, I feel like we need to look at other places, not just, I know you really like this place, but we should look at other places and not just be set on one. And so we went to a place in Grand Rapids and we came here. And the customer service here was what sold it for us. Victoria was our little event coordinator here at the H. And out of all the 3 places that we toured, she was the only one that made us feel like she actually wanted us to have, us being here was important to her. Like, I would really love for your wedding to be here. Where everyone else was kind of like, let us know if you want to spend the money to get married here or not. So we really liked that experience. And that was really what sold it for us, was that we felt like she made us feel like we were important. We weren't just another wedding. And that's checking it off her list.
That's important for having a venue, because it's like you want to make sure that day you have the least amount of stress possible.
Yeah, I didn't have any stress that day at all.
And see, that's good. That's great. And I know some venues have kind of you're just another amount to them. More money that's in their pocket.
Yeah.
But having a personalized training or personalized experience is very important.
We did also hire a wedding planner to help us through the whole process. My mom helped me, we worked together a lot on everything. So, her name was Lindsay with Holly Hawk Designs. And she kind of at first was very whatever you want to do, you can do. And we wanted to do a lot of stuff. So we originally started out with doing a lot of stuff. And then she kind of filled in the blanks of things I didn't even think about. Oh, what about this? I'm like, yes, absolutely. You'll absolutely do that, because I don't know enough about planning a wedding. I've never done it before. So that additional expertise was very helpful. And then when I started getting burnt out from wedding planning, she was like, I got you. I don't even worry about stuff. She'll be like, I was thinking about this today. What are your thoughts on this? I'm like, great, love it. She's like, okay, cool. You don't have to worry about it at all. So I think that helped a lot with day of stress also, knowing that Lindsay was there and Stanley didn't have to worry about stuff. She did an amazing job too. So
now your dad created this awesome table setting
chart. Yes.
Chart. Yes.
He did. Yes. It was amazing. It took him, he's a very type A, so it took him a while to make, but in the end, it turned out gorgeous. He did a great job.
I was like, man, where did you get this? Where did you buy this thing from? Because it just looks really, I out of all the weddings I've ever seen or been to, it's like that was probably one of the most unique seating charts I've ever seen.
I had seen it on TikTok, and Jake and I had talked about it, and then one day at dinner, we were like, hey, do you think you could make this? And he was looking at it, he was like, yeah, I think so. But he's a carpenter, so he has that skilled trade, and yeah, it turned out, he did everything. He painted it and stuff, and I just printed off the names for him to put on there and everything.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it turned out beautiful. Did a great job.
Now, is there, like, as far as the whole planning process, kind of going back to that, was there anything that just kind of like stood out to you as probably one of the most important elements that you wanted to incorporate into your wedding?
I don't think so. I'm kind of type B. I'm a little more laid back. I'm trying to think. Things that were super important to me were I wanted it to be very unique and very personalized to us, which I know everybody says, but like I've just seen so many different, like I've been to a bunch of friends' weddings and in weddings. I've seen all the wedding colors. So like when we picked our colors, I tried to pick ones that I love, but also ones that nobody else had done before. Yeah. Like I'd never been to a wedding with dark green. Like I'd seen the eucalyptus green, but the dark green nobody had done. And like Jake went to Michigan State, so like that kind of tied in with that. And we did velvet bridesmaids dresses because it was like towards the end of fall. I guess kind of in the middle of fall, but I don't know. It just gave it something different. It wasn't your traditional chevron bridesmaid dress. So like that made it a little unique. So I think that was pretty important to me. I was trying to find ways to make it unique and personalized to us. Like I did our personalized monogram for us that I did myself, and that was super fun. And so I tried to put that everywhere. I'd never seen an ice sculpture at a wedding before. So when that came up on my radar, I was like, I want to do that. I haven't seen that before at any weddings. And like, that's unique and cool. And it ended up being a big hit at the wedding. Like,
oh yeah.
So that was fun.
That was a fun little thing to see. The shoots that went down.
They poured the drinks in. It was originally for the drinks, but by the end of the night, they're using them for shots. It's fine. They loved it. So yeah, it was fun.
It was so fun.
It's very cool.
So as far as like changing directions, I know some of the other vendors that you probably use. You had a photographer. Her name was Cassie. Mm-hmm. So as far as like what made you decide on Cassie as far as your photographer?
For the photographer, she had one of the best websites that I looked at, and I feel like a website is very important. If you don't take the time to make a website and work on promoting you, I don't know, I just feel like you don't have the time for me. Yeah. So if you invest the time in yourself, I thought that was a very big like first impression. That's an easy way to tell somebody is actually professional and putting in the time into what they do. Okay. On how their website looks. And then her style was very on brand for what I was looking for, because you sent me a bunch of recommendations, which I loved and was super helpful. And so out of all the ones, her style was the most what I was looking for a photographer. And she's super bubbly. Like, she just talks. And it's so funny because my now husband is not a big talker. So he was like, well, she was really talkative. But you have to be as a photographer. Otherwise, like, that's your job to set the tone. It's not your couple's job to fill in the small talk for people. So
yep.
Super bubbly and cute and happy and brings a good energy, which is something I think a lot of my vendors brought, which was probably pretty important the day of, I guess, also, is because you have a vendor that doesn't want to be there. Yeah. You can feel that energy. Yeah. And then Cassie wanted to be there. She has good, happy energy. So
I love working with her. She's awesome. She's
an amazing job too.
We have just this good rapport with each other. We work well together, and it's like, so whenever I work with Cassie, it's just she's like one of my favorites.
Which also kind of eased my mind, like, as we started planning too, like, it was really good to hear, like, vendors say, like, oh, I know that person, like, Lindsay, the wedding planner, knew Randy, the makeup artist, and so, which we just came across knowing. She didn't recommend her to me or anything, it just happened, and we were talking one day, and Lindsay was like, oh, Randy O'Connor, I know her. I've worked with her before. She does a great job. I'm like, that's my makeup girl. She does do a great job. You're right. And so, like, everybody networking and knowing each other helped me because you're all giving positive feedback to each other, but it's also just reassuring to me, like, you know what you're doing. You've worked on enough projects and events that you know other people.
Yes.
And I don't know, that was kind of nice to hear.
That's important too. It's like, I know I work with a lot of photographers that's very different and stuff, but I think having to work with somebody you haven't worked before and just having that type of feeling, okay, I'm going to be working with somebody new. How do I connect with them?
Yeah.
And form like a team, because there's been situations where I've had like a DJ or a photographer who just tends to kind of like work by themselves, and they wanted to like hog the couple in such a way where I had literally one who decided that, oh, let's not tell me that we're taking the couple off to go do pictures and not telling me about that.
You're like, that's content I need to help what their product is going to be.
Exactly. Or I've had some DJs who basically I think I had a couple of them who actually started the grand entrance without even telling us that we were starting it. I'm like, thanks.
Okay, here we go.
So I think that's
the lighting.
Exactly. So I'm thinking it's very important to have that team type of sense when it comes to vendors. And I know Cassie, I've worked with her several times, so I have no. I knew we were going to work well together, and that's awesome.
Which is good to hear on my end, that I don't have to. Me as a bride, I don't have to worry about you trying to figure out how to work with the photographer, because you said, "Oh, I've worked with her before. She's real. We work well together." I was like, "That's good to hear. I love that."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Brian, from B Entertainment, you had for your DJ.
Yes.
And it's like, so how was it working with him?
Really great. So my husband is he's really into music. So that was his task, was finding the DJ, and he found him. And then we realized through a bunch of phone calls, like, that he actually knows, like, Jake's younger brother. And so, like, that added to it, having, like, a personal touch, like, oh, we know you're from the area. We know these people. And he did an amazing job. I think he kind of exceeded our expectations. Not that we had low expectations at all, because we didn't. But he was very reassuring and easy to communicate with. Like, I didn't have to talk to him a lot. But when we did, we covered a lot of things. So we didn't have to talk a lot, which was really nice. Like, he wasn't a big commitment of like, oh, I need to meet with you 5 times to go over your music set list. Like, he was like, here's this, just fill this out, and then I'll talk with you at this time. But he also read the room while DJing really well. Like, at one point during our reception, we took the ice sculpture outside so my nephew could break it, because it was the end of the night, and what are you doing with the sculpture other than letting it melt?
True.
And the hotel had weddings, like, ours was Friday night, and then another one Saturday and another one Sunday. So, like, they were like, if you want to break your ice sculpture, it'll be easier on us. And so I let my 10-year-old nephew do that, and he loved it. But the DJ was like, where's everybody going? And so when everybody came back, he was like, I thought I smelled everybody left all at the same time. Where'd you guys all go? And so, I don't know, he wasn't, like, weird about stuff. He made jokes and, like, knew when people needed a break to sit down and to play, like, more chill music, and when people were all into it, to play the hype music. And yeah, he did a really great job.
Okay.
And had a lot of, like, these are how I'm playing things throughout the night. And yeah, he did an amazing job. We really, really did like him.
Okay.
So,
Now, one of the things I noticed with the wedding that was actually very unique, and I want to find out, I think this is probably your idea,
okay.
was the engagement songs. Like, I'm sorry, the first dance songs that were played for certain people that were at that.
Okay. That was super fun. We saw this online, and I had never done it at a wedding before or seen it anywhere. And it was a huge hit. I had a lot of people after the fact, like, really thank me for doing it. So what I did was I asked a bunch of family and friends what their first dance songs were at their wedding. And during dinner, instead of just sitting and listening to cocktail music and talking and whatever, we played everybody's first dance songs and gave them the opportunity to come up and dance again, which was really nice because then you get to watch people. It gives you something to do during dinner. But also, after the fact, I ended up finding out that there were like 3 or 4 couples who had either eloped or just generationally didn't have a reception at their wedding and stuff. And we're like, so this is actually our first dance to our first dance song, period. We've never danced to it before. So that was kind of fun to know that our wedding was their first dance also.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. We had like 3 or 4 couples who ended up being like, oh, we really appreciate, like, I loved that you gave us that. Like, like, one of my really good friends, her and her husband eloped. And she was like, and this is our song. And we didn't dance to it because of that. So it was nice to be able to actually do that.
That I did not know that.
Yes,
I thought that's really cool.
It was a lot of fun. And our vendors, we got a lot of good, like, they were like, we're going to recommend this to other people that they do it. Yeah, it was super fun. I really loved it. And it was fun to talk to people about it too. Like, hey, this is what we're thinking. What's your song? Hearing everybody's songs, like, through the generations also. And then I did it in order of, like, really close family. So, like, obviously both Jake and I's parents were first to dance. And then, like, our siblings who were married were after that, aunts and uncles. And then I scattered in friends throughout that too, just because everybody needs to be involved.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. And I loved, it gave us something to do during dinner other than just sit there and be like, okay, so what's our game plan for after this? Like, what do we want to do? How many tables we got to get around, talk to people? It's much more relaxed. And like, oh, this is so fun. And you're waiting to see if people, like, watch people's reaction. Because it gave the DJ a list to go in. So I knew who was coming up next. So we'd be like, okay, this couple's next. Jake and I'd be like, okay, this couple's next. Let's watch them, see how long it takes them to realize it's their song. I didn't tell anybody else the order. So, and then it's funny to see, is there going to be a couple that decides not to dance? Once you make it so far in the lineup, like, you can't be that couple that doesn't dance, you know? So it was super fun. I would recommend doing it at other weddings. Yeah.
I love that. I've never heard that before. And it's like, oh, this is new.
Was super fun. Yes, it was super fun. And I loved when people were like, oh, that was our first time actually dancing to the song. I was like, I love that. At our wedding, how cool. So,
well, I think one of the things you also did was actually very I love it. I've seen it done a lot, but one of the things that I see a lot with weddings, and I've been doing this for well over 11 years, is the fact that, you know, it's like you get first look with dad gets to walk you down the aisle, and, you know, it's like you got the father-daughter dance, you got the mother-son dance, but one of the things that's left out is the mother of the bride.
uh-huh.
And one of the things I really love is this, what you did was you basically, instead of the bouquet toss, you gave that to your mother as a dedication to her. And I love that trend.
Uh-huh.
So,
yes, so do I.
Speak about that. I mean,
Yes.
I'm really curious.
So it is important, obviously, because my mom was my right-hand woman the whole time. My bridesmaid, my maid of honor was super involved also along with our wedding planner, but my mom literally went to every single meeting with me, listened to me when I wanted to start talking, even though I was at work, at 7:30 in the morning, I'm texting her like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? She's like, I am here. Hello. So it was important to me that she still be recognized for that. Yeah. So that once I saw that trend was going around, I was like, that's a really great way to like call her out. And we did it right before the father-daughter and son and mother dance.
Yep.
Right before those two. And it wasn't super long. I was just enough to like make it memorable and give her a hug and acknowledge her in front of everybody. So yeah, it turned out really nice.
And I think that's great because it literally is for a long time. It's like the mom helps you in the dress and stuff. That's the moment where she's helping you, but she's not really recognized for the rest of the day. Yeah. It's like she's just kind of off to the side, and it's sad.
And nobody sees her helping you into your dress either.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, it was really nice. And then it gives you something to do with your bouquet. Like, otherwise, like, I know the trend of throwing it to the single ladies is going out the door. So, again, you spend so much money on flowers in your bouquet. Like, I don't really want to be throwing it anyways.
Yep.
Like, we spend a lot of money on them to look pretty. And they're in vases all night, so they stay pretty. And so it's nice that she was able to take it home and enjoy it still after the fact. So,
yep.
Yeah.
I agree. So, speaking of flowers, I think you had Hannah, right?
Yes.
I love Hannah.
Yes.
Well, how did that go?
Hannah was really good. I think the biggest thing we noticed from her is our very first meeting we had with her. You could tell she had a long day. When she first sat down, since I were from Saginaw, we couldn't meet with her until like 4:30, and then it was a holiday weekend when we met with her, so we got stuck in traffic and we didn't end up to her place until like later. And you know how she looked exhausted, and as soon as we started talking about my wedding, she completely flourished and was like, oh yeah, I love weddings, like this is what I'm here for, I love all your ideas. We used candelabras, I think is the correct term, for the centerpieces, and she was so excited about those because she had never worked with them before. So she's like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see these and work with them and everything. So, like, it was really nice that you could see that she loves her job. Yeah. Like, throughout the duration of the meeting and everything. So, that was really good for us on our end to, like, oh, that was a really good energy. Like I was saying before, vendors have good energy and it makes a difference. So, they love what they do and it shows, and that's what you want. So,
yeah. And that's what I love about her. I can't remember as far as, like, I know one of my pet peeves. I don't really have a pet peeve. It's just one of my pet peeves where it's like I have like boutonnieres especially.
Okay.
It's like I always have this pet peeve of when a florist will give you one pin to go through the boutonniere, and I always find my pet peeve is that they never stay up.
Yes.
And also the pin is also possibly going to poke the person going in. So it's like I love two pins, one going through the bottom, one going through the top. Hannah knows that.
Oh, good.
So that's what I love about her is that she knows that that's not.
Yeah.
But I find some florists actually just give one pin, and that's why I carry extras with me.
Carry extras with me, yes. Well, it's funny because I didn't have to talk to her at all the day of the wedding. Like, everybody just had, I'm sure she talked to my mom the day of, but I didn't have to talk to her at all the day of the wedding. She had everything where they needed to be, and we had heard that boutonnieres are difficult. So we did pocket squares.
Yes.
And we had also heard that the groom's he's hugging so many people that it gets battered throughout the day. So we were given the option, if you want to order two for your husband, like, just be aware this is what happens. And so I felt like we weren't blind going into anything with the flowers. We got a lot of good advice on stuff, and I didn't have to worry about flowers at all the day of.
Yeah, I totally
Everything
blinked.
was just handed to me, so.
I totally blinked. I remembered. Now I just remembered you did have those inserted pocket squares.
Yeah, we had the pocket squares. The dads both had boutonnieres that pinned on.
Okay.
Which I didn't know that she did two pins, so, like, I learned that today too. That's good to know. So.
I had two pins.
I can see how that would make a huge difference.
It does.
Especially like I said, with the groom hugging so many people throughout the day.
Yeah.
So.
I've had so many that just they go through on the side, and I've had so many that go in for hugs and they get poked.
Oh,
And it's like,
that's not fun.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
They're like, I want this off. Thank you.
Yep, exactly. So,
Sweet.
so kind of like going back as far as what I do and stuff like that. So I guess how important was it to get a video?
So I had one of my bridesmaids, her mother-in-law had just passed away recently. And so when we were going through and picking the videographer, she kept saying, get a videographer. It's so important. Like, I know it doesn't seem important, but like, I promise you, you will want these, not just photos. You'll want to hear people's voices and see their mannerisms and their glow throughout the day. So getting a videographer and hearing her perspective was very important. So that was definitely at the top of my list. And I didn't talk to any other videographers other than you. So I was like, I hope Jeff's available because he's the only one I'm pinning on. So when you were like, oh, yeah, that date works, I was like, okay, thank goodness.
I love it.
Yes,
I love
yes.
it.
And your turnaround time was so nice. Like, to not have, for our short video, like, you're still so excited about things. Like,
Yes.
It's very important to, like, I really appreciated that you had, and you, like, let me know about it, too. Like, at the end of the night of the wedding, you were like, okay, I'm taking off for the night. A, do you need anything else from me? No? Okay, perfect. B, here's your time frame. If something changes, I will reach out to you and let you know. And you met your time frame, so that wasn't a problem. But you are you communicate really well. So, like, that makes a difference, too. Like, I don't have to worry about anything. Yeah. And your content turned out beautifully. Like, both the mothers were, like, crying. When they saw the short one, they're like, oh, my gosh, it turned out so good. Like, I know, Jeff, that's a great job.
I tend to make people cry.
Yes. And the music you picked, we are obsessed with that song.
Okay.
That's our, like, short videos. We love that song. Okay. So it was a perfect pick.
Well, that's what I try and do. It's like, I know it's like one of the things that with me, and I know that's primarily a lot of my selling point, is the fact that I do want to turn around something really, really super quick.
Yeah.
And it's like when I'm going through and I'm making sure that I have all the clips, I have everything backed up, I might just create the video. And it's like there's so many that just kind of like, oh, we'll have it in a couple weeks, or we'll have it in a month. And there's some that horror stories I hear where they just don't, they haven't gotten in like a year.
That's crazy.
And it is. It's crazy because it's like you want to know what you have.
Yes.
Like, what did he capture?
Yes. And you lose your momentum. Like, you're on your next life event, and then you get your video content, and you're like, well, that was like 6 to 8 months ago, and now I'm already on I'm happy I got it, but now I'm on my next life event.
Yep.
And so it's not as exciting. You bring it up, hey, do you guys want to watch our wedding video? And they're like, oh, like, you got that was like 8 months ago. So I can see how that would be super awkward a little bit. So turnaround time was really great.
Okay.
Yes.
But I absolutely love I'm still obsessed about what we did with the robe and the transition.
Yeah.
It's like,
it was super fun. I loved it. And I think my nieces really loved it, like being a part of it and stuff too. So they're
very cute.
And they had never been flower girls before.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I think it was super exciting for them. And so I tried to keep them super involved in everything. And yeah, they're pretty cute.
That's cute. I love it. I love it a lot.
Yes.
So you are expecting.
Yes.
Yes.
We
How
are.
long? How far along are you?
I am currently 6 months pregnant.
Oh,
yes. I know.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, I don't think, forgive my ignorance and stuff, but you have no idea what you're having yet.
No, we know what we're having.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if you're keeping that a secret.
We're having a little girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
I told my husband, get ready for all pink everything.
Oh, cool. I love it. I love it. I know. I have like 3 daughters, so it's like, I know how it is.
Yes, we're so excited. So it's
cool.
going to be really good. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Oh, good. Well, I guess I'm going to like ask you. It's like if there's any brides who are coming to ask, like basically ask you questions, like what are some of the things that you'd say were some of the, I guess, obstacles that you kind of like ran into that you kind of wish that you didn't like, if you would have known prior to starting, would you change?
I would say read contracts that
Yes.
vendors give you. If they sound fishy, they probably are. Or if they're so into detail, like some of them, I understand with like your main venue, like the H Hotel, obviously their contract is going to be a large contract to read through, but the H Hotels was very like, they were pretty straightforward and very accommodating, and their contract wasn't scary. Like some contracts we looked through for even other venues, we were like, oh my gosh, you need a lawyer to read through something like this. This is crazy. Like it's almost like they're trying to confuse you and trick you into things. Not that that's what they're trying to do, but we read contracts definitely, because what you're signing, like if you have to cancel something and reschedule, you can't really argue with a venue or with a vendor when you signed it. Like, I will give you, the deposit is $3,000 and then it's another $3,000 on this date. And if you pass that date and then cancel, like you already signed that you would pay. You can't argue with them and be like, it was out of my control. Well, that's why they had you sign a contract. So
Yeah.
I guess I would say read the contracts. Nobody ever wants something to happen and come up and change, but things happen. So read them.
Yep.
I think that was my biggest obstacle. Like the first big contract, we were all like, whoa, we need to sit down. Like I sat down with both my mom and my dad and Jake. Like we all had a regroup, and then we called the venue and we're like, can you walk us through this? Because this is huge.
Yes. I've had some. Hey, you hear about some of these stories with contracts. Some actually don't even have them.
Yes.
And if they don't have them, then I'd say that's scary.
Red flag in itself. Yes. Like,
Yes.
have you worked enough events that you know? Because I mean, you could have only worked a few events and be really good at your job. But I don't know. To me, our wedding was such a big. It's important to everybody. It's such a big, important day, and I don't think you realize how important it is, like, how much little things mean to you until you're the one going through it. But the more experienced your vendors are, the less you have to worry about. And the day of your wedding, you don't want to have to worry about anything if you don't have to. So
That's very, very true.
I did not have to worry about anything, and for the most part, and it was really great.
And that's the way it should be.
Yes, exactly. Like, if I'm running late, that's on me and my fault. I don't want that to be because a vendor was doing something. So
Yes.
yeah.
Exactly. That's it. You shouldn't be worried about it for that day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, 'cause so many people have asked me, so how many bridezillas do you have? I said, I have none.
I have none.
I have none. I have stressed brides, sure, because of the day it is.
Yeah.
And it's like they have, imagine you're planning this whole day of all these different, like, cogs in a machine.
Yeah.
And you want to make all sure that all of these cogs are all kind of like
Moving slowly.
And
the hard thing with vendors is you really have to trust them. Like, you can't, it's their job, and you have to hope that you picked the right ones, that you can trust them. Like the girl who altered my wedding dress, like I picked her. I didn't really know much about her. She was super accommodating, and like, you just have to trust her with your dress. You hear horror stories about wedding dresses and things going wrong, and you're like, I can see how that could happen, because you do your research the best you can, and you're like, I'm giving this to you, and I'm trusting you to not put it into a million little pieces.
Exactly.
And she did an amazing job and was super accommodating also. Like the day that was supposed to be my last fitting, and she was like, no, I can't let you go home with it like this. I come back tomorrow. I will stay tonight and come back tomorrow, and I will have this such and such fixed for you. And she's just kept being like, I want you to feel your best the day of. And you look amazing right now, but I can make you look more amazing.
I love that.
I know. She did amazing. It was so lovely. Alterations here in Midland.
Oh, That's who it was?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She did an amazing job. I really, really liked her. I would recommend her
Oh,
to
good.
so many people. So.
That's exactly it. That's the way it should be.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, she exceeded my expectations, especially when she was like, oh no, I'm not sending you home with this dress. You're coming back tomorrow. Does that work for you? Like, and I was like, yeah. She was like, great. It was like the Thursday. We picked it up Thursday and my wedding was Friday. So.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. And she was like, I will make this look gorgeous on you. I said, you right. You did make it look gorgeous on me. So, yes. Mm-hmm.
So what was your favorite part of the wedding day?
That's a really tough question. It was a really fun day altogether. I really liked that Jake and I did like a first touch beforehand and like held hands. That was really nice. And it's fun to watch it on video after the fact too. Like
What's
see
fun?
everybody's interactions and how we're like when I'm walking up, I think I'm like
Yes.
like I do something to him and he's like the total opposite of me where he's just like standing there all nervous.
Yep. You get to see his reaction.
Yes,
But it's like I saw you kind of like
yeah. So like that was super fun. And I really liked our grand entrance. Like, again, Jake is a huge music guy, so he really, like, took a lot of time to, like, talk through all the music. What do we want to walk into? What don't we want to walk into? And so, like, we picked Burnin' Love by Elvis Presley, and we were, like, so hyped for that moment. So that was a lot of fun. And it's, like, so surreal, like, walking into your own reception. You're like, this is for us? Oh, my goodness. It's crazy.
You're the star of the show.
Yes, and it's so much fun. And then our first dance song, we really like went back and forth on it a lot. Yeah. And we ended up picking one that I think meant the most to us and wasn't just like a basic one and then everything. And so I think our first dance was a lot of fun to me because I don't really get nervous in front of a lot of people. So it could be totally different for brides who don't do good in front of big audiences, but I wasn't thinking about anybody else at our reception when we were doing our first dance. So
good.
That was a lot of I think that was probably my favorite part of the day. It was a lot of fun and very surreal. You're like, oh my gosh, we're married. This is great.
Awesome.
Yes. We also took 15-20 minutes once we got back here while cocktail hour was going on to go upstairs. And
yes,
we had like food in our hotel, like brought up to our hotel room, and like our wedding planner was like, you need just 15 minutes to yourselves to take in the day. And that was a lot of fun for us too, to like sit and eat our food and giggle and be like, you look so good. Oh my gosh, we're married. And just be by ourselves. And then it gives you a second to be like, okay, let's go downstairs and have a great time now. Like the ceremony's over. That was a really fun part of the day too. So
well, that's important too, because you know, in all reality, I'm really happy that you did that. Mm-hmm. I think that's actually a very perfect portion of the day, because so many of them see where they don't get to see each other until they walk down the aisle.
Yes.
And then they see each other in front of everybody.
Uh-huh.
They're doing their vows and doing all that. They walk down the aisle. Then they do formal pictures. Then they go take pictures of other places. Then by the time pictures are done, then it's like, okay, we don't have time. We have to do the grand entrance. You do the grand entrance, and then you're eating dinner. Then you're talking to people, and people are talking to you. And that goes on for the rest of the day.
Yes.
You don't actually get a moment to say, we're married.
Yes.
And it's just like and I find that's very important. Mm-hmm. And I know you didn't do a first look, you just did a first touch, but I know with some people, it's like when they kind of go back and forth as far, do they do a first look or do they not do a first look? And I think for personally me, if the wedding is, early afternoon, don't do it first. Okay, it's like, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But it's like if your wedding is like at 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock.
It's a long time to not see your significant other. Like that's more than half of your wedding day.
It is.
Which is why our ceremony was earlier in the day, because we knew we did not want to do a first look. But when we were talking with our priest on what time we wanted the ceremony to be, he was like, we can do 4. And I was like, no. Like, this is our day and I want to spend it with him. So I wanted it. I think it was at like 2:30. Yeah. So
Yours was early on. Yours was early on.
because I wanted to spend time with him throughout the day. Yes.
And then you got that time to when you got back here to spend just with him.
Yes.
And that's what the thing is like when we talk about a first look, it's like when they do that first look, they can actually go somewhere privately to do that.
Yes.
And then the photographer and I can just kind of like, we capture that moment, but then we can just kind of like leave them to just do whatever they want.
Right.
Just to be by themselves. And that's what I love about that, because that like gives them time by themselves.
Yes.
Which is very important to have.
Yes.
So
it was a nice little break in our day. I think we used it as our like, how's it going? Like, this is fun. Oh my gosh, look at our fingers. We're married. This is so great. Snack on some food. Okay, I feel a little more rejuvenated now.
Yeah.
And because after all of our the photos are as exhausting as people say they are.
Yeah.
Like, you're standing and smiling, and finally you start to feel bad. You're like, am I still smiling? Like, I'm a little tired. Am I still smiling? And luckily, Cassie can read the room, so she's like, let's take a quick break. Let's move on to the next thing. I'm going to get just like the parents with the grandkids. We'll do a couple with them, give the bride and groom a break. So that was really nice. She did a good job with that. But I think giving us our time to eat and just chill for a second was super nice. And I totally forgot it was coming until our wedding planner was like, upstairs, like, let's go. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome, cool, quick break. So yeah, it turned out really nice.
Well, good.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd love to talk about right now, or?
I don't think so. Our wedding day was amazing, though. I would recommend all of our vendors. They did a great job. I had nothing to stress about the day of, which I think is attributed a lot to our wedding planner, Lindsay.
Yeah.
She does an amazing job. Like,
she was great.
I could not. And Victoria, the coordinator here at the H, was like, I need to add you to our like vendor list so people know about you. Because I think our wedding was her first time doing the H Hotel, like working an event.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She did great, because I was like, how do I make this ballroom unique? And so we did a bunch of drapery and greenery. She hung stuff from the ceiling and made it sparkly and gorgeous, and thought about all the little things that I would never have thought about. So
that's awesome. That's important. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. So hope you got a lot of information that you can take to your wedding in the future. And I wish you a good day until the next time.